Comrades, friends, supporters, enemies of the Democratic Party. On the 6th of January 2021, Epiphany in the Western Christian calendar, I was, as I thought, YouTube broadcasting into my Skype camera. What I intended to say, what I thought I was saying, was loosely based on this script, which I'm reading out now. It was headed, "To the barricades, citizens." It read as follows: William Spring, who is General Secretary of an independent but legal UK trade union, has reissued a statement he made several days ago, criticising the parochialism of much of the coverage of the US elections. In issue 36 of the Armageddon Times, an online magazine I established in April 2020 as a corrective to the dumbed down and nihilistic thinking of Boris Johnson, the BBC, etc., the entire UK political class, I wrote, Americans seem to think this election has nothing to do with anyone else other than US citizens. And in one sense, they are right. But in another sense, they are wrong. The US president is the leader of the free world. Consequently, we cannot allow this supreme office to be subverted and supplanted by what is in effect a coup. Those of us who oppose the installation of Biden are neither Democrat nor Republican. It is not a question of being pro or anti-Trump, but one of democratic legitimacy. The BBC, CNN, and Sky parrot and in unison the fake news that the allegations of vote fraud are unsubstantiated when they are obviously not. The Biden installation needs to be stopped by whatever means. One constitutional method is for the president to invoke the 1807 Act. Meanwhile, US armed forces should be prepared to mutiny, as Biden is not and never can be the lawfully elected president of the Republic. I also made an appeal to Mike Pence, asking him to forthwith to cease and desist from any efforts to install Joe Biden as President of the United States. I said, should, despite everything, these dubious votes be confirmed, then all Americans must head directly to the barricades. The Republican militia, the Proud Boys, and all affiliated groups and loyal troops should block the route to be taken January 20th to the Biden installation, so the Biden installation cannot proceed. I concluded by asking the president to invoke the Insurrection Act. I uploaded the item onto YouTube, but to my horror, when I went to look at it, all the sound was taken out. So my advice to the barricades, citizens, wasn't heeded, as it wasn't received. Nevertheless, large numbers of Trump supporters did visit the Capitol building in Washington. They were not violent. Only the Antifa, BLM supporters who had intermingled with the Trump crowd was violent. But the security forces failed to distinguish between the two groups and fired on the crowd, killing Ashli Babbit, a US Air Force veteran. In a post on Facebook, I wrote, regarding the events in Washington yesterday, I regret the death of the woman shot by the security forces, but the blood of martyrs is the seed of the church. She died for freedom, just as much as the Allied troops did who stormed the Normandy beaches in June 1944. All the efforts of the BBC, Biden Broadcasting Corporation, the successor to the Blair Broadcasting, hate all Iraqis, hate all Serbs, Afghans, Libyans, etc. Corporation, to present her deeds as criminal while extenuating the real villains such as Biden and the Witch of Endor, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Adam Schiff, among others, will come to nothing. The eternal memory of this martyr who gave her life for her country will live on as a perpetual beacon and inspiration, proof that traitors will not pass. Once again, I call on the President to invoke the 1807 Insurrection Act. Since then, we've heard of other deaths, all of which I blame on Joe Biden. It is clear that the Democrats were attempting to steal the election through a variety of criminal methods. From what I've heard, none of these repulsive, loathsome Democratic leaders nor their turncoat allies, such as Mitt Romney, have expressed a single word of regret over these provocations. In memory of our first martyr, Ashli Babbit, I refer you to this link with due acknowledgement to Mireille Mathieu. I will try and put this up on YouTube, but with no confidence it will be, if it is posted, it will stay up very long. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.